Welcome to the third edition of the Beirut International Model United Nations Conference. Located in the heart of Lebanon, the American University of Beirut is the official home of BEYMUN, a student-run conference that has stemmed and evolved into a family of over 700 students over the past 3 years. Joining this family are you, delegates who will be spending the next 3 days discussing, debating, and winning a set of skills and knowledge that will help you pave unity and pioneer acceptance. The first step in accomplishing that is by understanding the topics that you will be challenged against during this conference. So,
get ready for the most important moments of your lives.
Hey, you can't say that.
What do you want me to say? Get ready for the most important moments of your lives. Get ready for the most important moments of your lives. Get ready for the most important moments of your lives.
Hey!
What? Just go ahead and watch. Just watch. Just go ahead. God. Ugh.
For criminals who seek to undermine the development of our world, today we have come together, united under Interpol, to send one powerful message in a single voice, that they shall not prevail.
Now imagine you're studying for your final exams and you have the flu. You decide to take the pills. You think you're going to get better, but in fact, you get worse. Pain, fever, aches. Why? Counterfeit medicine. In the real world, counterfeit medicine's impact far outweighs the occasional "I'm not feeling too good." In some cases, it may even lead to death. The worst part about it is that it's spreading faster than an infectious virus. The question is, what are you going to do to help prevent that? What do Nicolas Cage, Al Capone, and Messi have in common? Very different men who've done very different things. Figured it out yet? Tax evasion. And those are just 3 cases of many others. This many. Basically, rich celebrities, politicians, and billionaires are out there in the world getting richer because of tax evasion. And you, well, you're just sitting here in this auditorium, stuck here for the next 3 days. Doesn't sound too fair now, does it? Tax fraud is ruining economies everywhere around the world. Tax evaders 1, world 0. How will you be combating in the fight against tax evasion?
In this 21st century, states are prone to collapse because they lack a good system of governance. On the other hand, many people in the states are unheard, unbound, and unprotected. Eminent leaders need to understand these topics in order to be able to tackle them and create a better community.
A good nation state that is able to provide political goods is considered a strong state. But when you start removing pieces such as law, security, good health care, and a strong educational system, it collapses. It's harder to rebuild a failed state rather than to prevent a failing state from collapsing. So how will you help these nation states rebuild themselves to achieve political, economic, and social stability? It's Halloween. You want to look different, you want to look exotic, right? So you zip down to your local Halloween store and you buy this without really thinking it through. What you're doing isn't really celebrating ethnic identities, it's cultural appropriation. Indigenous people have been subject to discrimination and oppression since the beginning of time. Mostly seen as minorities, their basic human rights are often violated and their cultural heritage unrecognized. So how can you help these indigenous people preserve their ethnic identities and their cultural differences? Well, first, stop wearing their costumes for Halloween. And second, well, that's what you're here for.
The General Assembly's First Committee on Disarmament and International Security has the honor of entertaining 2 very relevant and engaging issues on today's international political agenda.
We're in a dark room. We've got 2 guys. We've got two guys looking all sketchy. Cue intense music. You're thinking, what the heck is going on here? Trade of illicit small arms and light weapons. Because of these guys, non-war related conflicts are increasing, resulting in domestic violence, homicides, and suicides. What measure will you be taking to reduce the illicit trade of small arms and light weapons? Imagine the wars and conflicts of this world were like some round of a board game leaders and rulers play during their quiet night at home. Obviously, warfare isn't as simple as that, especially when it comes to foreign military aid. Though such aid has its benefits, if left unregulated, things can go real bad real fast. Where do you cross the line with foreign military aid and intervention?
Since 1948, the Security Council has sought the maintenance of international peace and security. Currently, there are a lot of talks about diversity and its importance in creating a better future for humanity. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, we do not create history. We are created by history.
On the morning of August 2nd, 1990, Iraqi troops crossed into the border of Kuwait, and its army of just 20,000 men were swept aside in a matter of hours by an overwhelming force of Iraqi tanks, fueled by the 8-year war with Iran. By the end of the day, hundreds had died in the fighting, and resistance across the country was reduced to small pockets of diehards. On the 28th of August, President Saddam Hussein announced that Kuwait would be its 19th province of Iraq. For the past 43 years, the South African government has enforced laws that ban interracial marriages and social integration amongst the people of different races. The government stripped non-white Africans of their voting rights and parliamentary representation and followed to dictate the living arrangements and economic opportunities of each race. The system, therefore, has given way to the birth of a powerful and armed opposition, resulting in heavy waves of violence and civil war.
Join us at BEYMUN 18. Let's pave unity and pioneer acceptance.